All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the Web3 gaming and crypto gaming landscape as we've seen the market moving quite nicely. You know, Bitcoin's up about 5.5%, 6% over the week, but there are tokens in the gaming market which are up 60% this week, 50%, 40% this week. And I'm going to go over the tokens that have been moving the most, the ones that we have in our bags that are really performing well. And we've been talking about accumulating here on the channel. But on top of that, there are some that haven't really moved yet. So we're going to talk about some that could still be at a value accumulation level, but above else, you know, it pays to have conviction. And we've been saying on this show that what is happening in the Web3 gaming landscape, it's too much to pass up. And you are able to invest at such a low valuation level now that if you have a long-term time horizon, it was a no-brainer to be accumulating. We'll go over that ideology and more, as well as tokens that we are targeting, some more accumulation, and just kind of see where the market is going. So without further ado, let's get in the game. All right, and as always, guys, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on Banter and on In the Game. And a quick shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Vulcan Forged. Vulcan Forged, one of the leading Web3 gaming ecosystems in the entire blockchain gaming space. We have Ultra. Download the Ultra Games client in the description below. Check out some of the Web3 games on Ultra. We have Undead Blocks. You have Phantom Galaxies hitting the Ultra Games app here very soon. So check that out in the description below. We have Amino Rewards. Once again, I would highly advise to jump into the description, download the app, and use the promo code, which is Banter100, I believe it is. And you can actually start earning TGE tokens for their upcoming TGE, which their ammo token goes live next month. Absolutely free to download, and you can start earning these tokens today. And last but not least, well, actually not last but not least, with two more sponsors are filling up the show here, and that's because the sentiment on Web3 gaming is so high. But XCAD Network, the ultimate watch to earn platform. You can sign up for an account in the description below. And last but not least, Banana Gun Bot. It's the third largest Telegram trading bot behind, I believe it's Maestro and Unibot. So if you have been into these Telegram bots, definitely check that out as well. Banana Gun Bot on Twitter. Now, after that's all over with, let's go ahead and jump into the main content of the show. As you know, a lot of the times here in the chat, a lot of the times when you see these traders that are drawing lines on charts and saying, you know, we're going lower, 12K is imminent, people are stupid for buying now. Honestly, that's music to my ears. And I had some people laughing on the timeline today because the "we are going lower" bros are very unhappy. They're very quiet today. You don't see them on the timeline today talking about, oh, we're going lower, etc. Accumulation in times when the wannabe chart Picasso the wannabe chart Picassos draw lines that say we are going lower is always the move. So when people are talking about the market going lower, Max Payne, I agree with 𝗟𝗟𝗍𝗓. 𝗟𝗟𝗍 on Twitter was saying, you know, the Max Payne scenario is actually pumping. The market wants to inflict Max Payne. It is not here to cater to you, your timelines, or the way that you operate in the markets, right? So here's how it is. The Max Payne scenario is actually us pumping like beyond belief and people being left behind because so many people are bearish based on the broader economy. Oh, we didn't pump with the stock market. There's a recession. Real estate prices are going down. Government shutdowns, blah, blah, blah. But whenever there's so much negativity, that's probably the time that you should be buying. As Crypto Jam says, that might mean the bottom is in. And I think this cycle bottom is in. 15K, whenever we got down there, that is the cycle bottom. I will be more than happy to call that. I know I've seen people, even on this channel, say we're going to 10K. It's like, all right, hold your horses. I don't understand where that is. First of all, I don't think that's tangible with what we've seen. We've seen the absolute worst of it. Luna, FTX, we've seen all these insolvencies, and we still are swimming. We are still actually growing in this market with the ETFs looming. it's just a no-brainer to have been buying between those $15,000 and $25,000 levels, especially knowing that Web3 gaming in the next 2 to 3 years is going to be the top narrative in crypto with all the developments going on. We have, obviously people like 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗪, the most bullish on Web3 gaming, just like myself. We see big NFT marketplaces like LooksRare, which they still do get a good amount of traction. They are now focusing on-chain gaming. We see 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗪 from Vulcan Forge saying he's never been more confident about the future of blockchain gaming and Vulcan Forge. Even in the depths of the bear market, every setback is fuel to motivation. I've built this company from the ground up. It's a child to me and not even a few years old. And his kid came on the show. That was pretty awesome, actually. That was a wholesome moment from the Saturday stream. And they're coming to Amazon Prime, the next crypto gem, which is going to give exposure to millions of potential viewers. Vulcan Forge, WAGMI Games, and DeFi Kingdoms are some gaming projects that are involved in that. And then all this speculation aside, we actually have quality products that are coming through the door here very soon. And those quality products like Off the Grid. Sorry if my connection was a little laggy there. But as we see here, Off the Grid, we have Shrapnel on the way. So there's so many quality games that once we actually get those games that are going to bring in the masses, that are going to bring in the speculation, the player bases, when the assets are trading inside these games, there's tokenized economies that actually are tangible and not a Ponzi like the first iterations of games. There's so much in development that this is exactly why I go to say all this development, everything that's gone on in this bear market. When you look at the developments for the last 24 months, let's just say that, 24 months since Web3 gaming became mainstream, when Facebook changed into Meta, we have seen the most building happen in that time period. And then we see over the month, Nakamoto Games is up 90%. We have Veracity, which over the 7-day time period is up 42%. This comes off the back of, let's see here. We'll get this to load. Back. I believe I'm back now. So sorry about that. There's too many tabs open on my computer. There's too much alpha to deliver. So we're back. All right. Veracity burned its entire war chest of tokens, 10 billion tokens. This is crazy. So explores new chains, 90 billion POV marker token separation following a landmark community-led consultation. So as we see here, they have a full tokenomics article coming out soon. This is the reason it's pumped 42% over just the last 7 days. So they have burned 10 billion tokens, which if I remember correctly, let's just go back here and see the supply. It's the entire circulating supply. That's the amount that they just burned. So that is ridiculous as far as the future of this project. I'm super bullish on Veracity. We were calling at the low threes, so 0.003, that this was a fantastic buy. This one's pumped tremendously over the last week or so. We see here Rollbit, which we've been saying that this one is probably going to be one of the biggest winners. The FOMO, the amount of gamblers. No, crypto is the ultimate casino, as a lot of people like to say. But whenever you actually have a casino project that makes about 7 million a week in revenue, like Rollbit, this is going to do tremendous in a bull. It's up 22% this week. We have Dubs up 25% over the month. We have projects like GameSwift, which is up 58% for the 7 days. A lot of this has to do with their campaign that's going on right now. It's a multiverse expansion. If you bridge your 𝗔𝗺𝗃 across 5 chains, you actually can earn rewards off of their Galaxy campaign. As you see here, you bridge 𝗔𝗺𝗃 across Polygon, Base, ZK Sync, Linea, and Binance. You then do the token burning, the bridge 𝗔𝗺𝗃 to a burning contract, and there are rewards, collect NFTs through Galaxy on Arbitrum. So this has led to a bunch of buys in this token, and also it hit quite a bit of a bottom. It was in that 4 cents range. Now it's up about 60% over the 7 days. So what does all this amount to, right? Obviously, we see Solana, which has done really well this week, leading up to the Breakpoint conference, 22%. What does this all culminate to? Well, it's that Web3 adoption that we talk about consistently here on In the Game. Like, whenever I come on here and tell you guys, these developments that are going on in the market, whenever I come in here and I tell you guys that Web3 gaming is building in the background, and you just have to have patience and conviction to accumulate these things. I'm not talking out of my behind here. Like, when I talk to developers, when I talk to other fellow builders, I'm a builder in this market. I'm building Web3 gaming software. I'm building crypto tracking software. We have my own Web3 gaming community. So as a fellow builder in this market, whenever I talk to other people, you cannot help but be extremely bullish on this, specific niche. The gaming sector is the easiest to describe to someone who has no idea what crypto or Web3 gaming is. Like, there's so many Ponzi's in DeFi. There was Ponzi's at the beginning of gaming. That's kind of gone away. There's way too many too good to be true situations in other narratives. AI crypto, I don't feel like is developed. It's going to take a while for AI inside of crypto, in my opinion, to actually make sense on a broader level. But right now is that time to be building those positions. If we're talking about a bull run, we're not even close to the bull market, but this small pump shows you the potential that this industry has. Once we go bullish, you think these 60% moves, these 90% moves over the weeks and the months, we're going to be doing multiple X's on these top projects, and you're not even going to blink an eye, and the next day another one's pumping, because there has been more going on in this niche than any other niche in crypto. And I'm telling you right now, you do not want to miss out on I know Rand talked about it this morning. Like, you don't want to be the person that's buying when everyone else is already trying to liquidate and take profits. You want to be the profit taker. And I've been trying my hardest here to make you guys the profit takers. So what are a couple of tokens? That potentially have not had that parabolic pump yet, that could still have a lot of upside in this market? I think 𝗕𝗫𝗃 is still a fantastic accumulation. Now, if you hold this till the bull run, you're going to have ridiculous gains, because the people will ape into the seed rounds. No pun intended. 𝗕𝗫𝗃 seed rounds. That's where the name comes from. But 𝗕𝗫𝗃, $33 million market cap. This is an easy 10 to 20x when the bull run comes, because everyone wants a piece of those early investments that do the 25, 50, 100 X's like we saw last bull whenever they hit the market. So I think 𝗕𝗫𝗃 is still dirt cheap at this moment in time. I also think that Ultra, anything under a 50, it's right at a 50 million market cap right now. I think anything under a 50 million market cap for Ultra is super strong as far as a long-term accumulation. Altura as well, still sitting at that $20 million market cap at 3 cents. This is an awesome accumulation. This is an easy 10 to 20x come the bull run. And like I said, you probably won't even have to blink an eye, and that will happen once we go parabolic. We have to blow off top, etc. Echelon Prime is getting pretty cheap, about 350. I think 340 is the buy level here. So if you have some patience, I think 340 would be the prime, no pun intended, the prime buying level for a token like Echelon Prime. I'm also looking at Vulcan at $3. So that's been my consistent buy. I think that when you are looking at Vulcan Forge, that's been a really good level to just stack your bags and have an average DCA. So I'm looking at $3 there. I'm also looking for still lower prices on Ronin and Immutable. And here's a disclaimer. It's unfortunate to see the market going so parabolic in a way for a lot of gaming tokens. It's not like Bitcoin's going parabolic. Let me just rephrase that. A lot of gaming tokens going completely parabolic, like Nakamoto Games, like GameSwift, like Rollbit, like Dubs. There's so many projects that have done tremendous just on this small Bitcoin pump. But if you reverse it and you take a look, stuff like Ronin hasn't really pumped in this market. In fact, it's down over the 7 days. Stuff like Immutable, which I know Immutable is some people's like top play heading into the next bull run. And they've done some awesome things in building up this ecosystem. But at the same time, the token unlocks and the lack of real network effect here. There's a couple games live on Immutable, but the lack of true network effect plus the token unlocks. So there is another token unlock coming in just a couple days. Unfortunately, 18 million IMX, which accounts for $10.45 million USD. That's hitting the market here on what is this? That would be October 7th. So here in just 5 days, there's another $10 million from VCs and early investors that hits the market. So these are the two tokens that I'm still having patience with. And if you look into the intricacies of some of these tokens, you can find projects that are still going to dip during these small pumps. But you have to have patience. You don't have to rush into these tokens. You just want to invest into tokens that have fair valuations at that time. That's why we were accumulating at these times, guys. It is not about what the chart Picassos out there say, oh, we're going lower. It's about the rapid developments in Web3 gaming. And then you look at the market caps of some of these projects. Like once Ronin gets closer to this $100 million mark, it's at 117 right now. $100 million valuation for the most popular Web3 gaming blockchain in the space. Give me all of that. I will fill my bags at that level. I was filling my bags on stuff like Dubs. I was filling my bags on Veracity. Altura, I have filled my bags on. Like, there are so many projects that based on valuation are just too much to pass up. And that's why we have harped on this over and over again on this show. And we still have the go lower bros out there saying that we're stupid for accumulating. But then they're the ones today that are like, what should I be buying? So always have conviction. It pays to have conviction and it pays to have a strategy. So when you see these undervalued tokens, take advantage of these time periods. If you are willing to have a long-term horizon on these things, it does not matter what happens tomorrow or next week or next month. By the time you get into the bull run, you are going to be completely set. You're going to be able to kick your feet up and just watch the madness as everyone who doesn't have conviction is rushing into this market because they just did not have, for lack of a better words, the balls at this time period. When no one cares about crypto, that's when you need to care the most. And that's what we're trying to provide you here on Banter and on In the Game. I see a super chat here, so I will get to this first, and then let's get into the chat on some of your guys' favorite tokens before we hop out of here. Please review Magicraft. Thank you, Diego, for the $5 super chat. I don't know who gets that on this channel, but hey, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Magicraft is a pretty cool project, I have to say. I spoke with their team in the past. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. I'll have to get like a full-blown review for you. So if you come back, I'll do some deep diving on recent developments, and I can get that done for you. Absolutely. WAGMI Games will lead the gaming sector this bull run. It might not be the true like leader. I mean, there's going to be tokens that probably do more X's or, pump more, for example. But I think that in the mobile market, they have a pretty good chance to be one of the leaders. Absolutely. And they're at a good buy price today, actually. They haven't really pumped with this market move. So I think WAGMI is actually at a pretty good buy price. Crypto Jam says, if it does go lower, just buy more. Absolutely. If it goes lower, buy more. You need to just have conviction. And if you average down on your prices and you're not playing with your rent money, then just continuously stack your bags and have patience. You're going to be so happy you did that once the next bull gets here. But that's the thing, Crypto Jam, is people don't have patience. Imagine that. They want instant gratification. And that's just not what the crypto market's going to give you, unless you are on Rollbit doing 1,000x longs. You're probably going to know your position within about a minute or two. MCRT, yeah, we just talked about it. I'll have to deep dive into it more, but I like what they're doing over there for sure. Buy Opos for financial freedom. Okay, Dustin. All right, I'll have to take a look at that. What is that? Is that obviously that has to be a token, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's on Solana, I see. So it's not showing up here. I see it's on like Orca and stuff like that. So I'll have to take a look at that. I will have to take a look at that. I saw a lot about 𝗔𝗺𝗃. I love what 𝗔𝗺𝗃's doing. I wish that I would have bought that dip up because it dipped quite a bit down to that 4-cent level. And then they launched that campaign and it just went parabolic. So shout out to anyone who did buy that dip for sure. The new bonk. Okay. All right. I'll definitely have to do research on it now. The next bonk, Enan? When to buy 𝗔𝗺𝗃, I would maybe let this pump subside a bit. It's up about 60-something plus % over the last week. Just let the pump die down a bit and then maybe just average into it at that point. Can Myria make it in this bull run? Yeah, Myria can make it in this bull run. The thing about Myria is once they start pumping, there's so little tokens that are in circulation that it can do massive numbers. Like the percentage in circulation is like less than 5%, if I believe the last time I saw. So there's just so many like unlocked, unreleased tokens into the circulation that if we went into a full-blown bull, it's not going to take a lot to pump that. So Myria, they've fumbled at a few points across the project, but I think that having not seen a bull, they have a full-blown ecosystem, lots of games coming in, they have nodes. I think it'll do well, but I don't think you need to rush into accumulations because people who have nodes can just sell every single time they get the emissions. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗏. It's not in my scope. It's probably a good 𝗕𝗵𝗵𝗋 play, but it was just such a last bull run token. It's not in my scope at the moment in time, Ken, to be honest. 2 questions in a row. If SLP is a good buy, I would not buy SLP. SLP is the rewards token in the Axie ecosystem. Buying rewards tokens never really works out well. I would not buy SLP, no. I would have to say no. Just to be completely and totally honest with you, I don't think that buying a completely inflationary token like SLP is a route to gains in this market. Play Zap, get it before it's too late. You know, they told me that about 𝗔𝗵𝗃 too, and it did well. So I will have to take a look, but it just seems like you guys are just shilling it at this point. I'm gonna have to. I'll take a look at it and give you a fair review on Wednesday. Thoughts on Ghost GHST? I feel like I know what that is. Yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 there. I think that as long as they survive to bull, which I think they will, it'll probably do really well in the bull market, to be completely honest. PYR, absolutely love PYR. I don't 𝗪𝗲 worth looking into. What is 𝗪𝗲? All right, sorry about that. Too many tabs. Too many tabs, too little time. So we're back. I don't know exactly what this token is, so I'm going to have to do a little more deep diving on it before I give you just a impulse answer, whether this is a good token or not. Thoughts on Gala at the moment? Obviously, I do not like their business practices one bit. I think that they'll sell anyone anything to try to make a profit and try to fill their bags. They got some pretty cool games in the ecosystem, but I think there's better plays than Gala out there at this point in time. I sold at about the 2 cent mark whenever the lawsuit thing came out. If things turn around, I'll reaccumulate. Still bullish on ILV? Absolutely. When I speak with the team over at Illuvium, the things that they're building behind the scenes, people are going to love it whenever it comes to the light. So I think that that's going to be a great play. Let's see here. Thoughts on 𝗨𝗂𝗋𝗋's upcoming game, Valhalla? I can't say that I know anything about it. I don't follow too many meme coins, so I'll have to take a look at it and give you a fairer assessment. Blockchain bets is an alternate to Rollbit, love from India. Yeah, I think there's a lot of 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗽s that can do well, going into the next bull. But I would once again, if I don't know the tokens, I'm going to have to do a little more DD before I give answers. I don't know anything about their model, rake backs, all that stuff. So I would have to take a look. Magic. I like Magic. They got a nice little pump this last week too, which was much overdue. I think that they had gotten beaten down quite a bit. So I think that that's good to see that Magic got a little bit of love. Hello Labs, it's been pumping quite a bit. So I know they're like the people behind the Killer Whales show. So we'll see how that goes. Very low circulating supply G-Swift. Yes, it is. So there is some risk because of the diluted, but there's not going to be much tokens going into the supply very soon. So it could have some runway for growth. MoneyCo says, what's the Tyler Lockett stock looking tonight? When my fantasy team drops 32 to beat you tonight, play back this clip in the group and I'll tell you. 7 catches, 140, 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm calling. All right? I need it. Freaking Jordan Addison dropping 0 points in my flex spot. What is he doing? Vulcan Forge price prediction. I think it can easily 10x. That would put it at about $1 billion market cap. Focus on market caps, not price. I'm looking at $1 billion valuation in the bull for Vulcan Forge. I think that's very realistic, and I think it can happen. PlayZap tokenomics are better now also. I will definitely take a look. Pegaxi, please. I would just stay away. That's a game that dies once is bound to die again. And I know that they're making a resurgence or whatever. I wouldn't fall for that trap. What game tickers will keep bleeding short term? Ronin and 𝗎𝗓𝗋𝗋𝗋. Those are the 2 I expect to continue bleeding amidst this market. Yeah, good luck, Troy. Gotta check the SX network. I am familiar with the project. I like what they're doing. I've actually worked with them in the past as far as within my NFT project. Let's see. Should I take profit on Vera or just let it be until full bull market? If you're thinking about taking profits, then take a little bit. Like, I understand that everyone, when you see a big pump like that, it might be worth taking a little bit of profits. And if your mind's already thinking to take a little bit, it might be good for your psychology to do so. For me, I'm holding till the bull because I have a long-term stack and I have short-term trades. So no one saw this supply burn coming, so it pumped out of nowhere. It could be a good move to take a little bit of profits, without any bias, right? But it's part of my long-term portfolio, so that's how I'm looking at it. Still bullish on Wild? I am. They just announced an event for the holidays. I'm really looking forward to hopping into that. Drew Lock, Mizzou. If only he would have materialized to something, Dustin. Star Atlas, I love what they're building, and it's good to see the traction on what they just released. 𝗓𝗏𝗃𝗃 looks awesome, I have to say, and it's a really good low cap as far as a gaming token specifically. Myria, I answered. I think it's a good play, but you have time to accumulate because there's so much sell pressure from the nodes. Let's see. Epic Games are going to use EOS. PZP. Any thoughts on Dark Frontier? Dark Frontier looks pretty cool, I got to say. Top is in. Anytime I see this, it's a top signal. I like when people come in and say the top is in. I'll bet against it every single time. All right, guys, I'm going to hop out of here. We're about 30 minutes in. Sorry for like the connection issues. I'm on my laptop today and I have about 50 tabs open. And I think when I was navigating between tabs, it kind of gave me a little bit of hiccups here. The old MacBook is kicking its hardest, but like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back on Wednesday with another video as always, guys, and hit the description below for all of our sponsors, Vulcan Forge, Ultra, Amino Rewards, XCAD Network, a lot of cool stuff. Check it out in the description. I'll be back on Wednesday, guys, as always. Thank you for hanging out and play well, my friends.